In Pensacola, good morning. Good morning. You got Vernon this morning. Yeah, you do. How you doing this morning? A little bit of background music this morning. Hey! Right on, right on, right on. Getting the phrase back out of the day, y'all. All right, y'all. Good morning. The day after Christmas, y'all. Day after Christmas. All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. All right, y'all. Christmas is over with. You know, we only got 364 more days before Christmas, y'all. Only 364 more days before Christmas time. Hope everybody had a great Christmas, as I did. I had a great Christmas on yesterday, and I hope everybody else did as well. I hope Santa Claus was good to you. Yep, I hope he was. And apparently he came Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, one of the two. But Santa Claus came. But I want to say good morning. I got Mr. Porter on this morning, and he called me every time I get in here. Let me see if I. Yeah, Mr. Porter, if you hear me, good morning. Mr. Porter, if you hear me, good morning. I know he's. I know when he calls me. We got some double troubles issues here, probably audio issues, but we'll fix that. We'll fix that as well. We'll see how that's gonna work out for us and everything. But I want to say good morning to everybody that's listening to me this morning, and I hope everybody had a super great Christmas holiday. Sure did, as I did. Let me tell you what we're going to do today, as we always do. As we always do. We're going to go over to some of the things that are happening over the Christmas holidays. Some of the news, boy, we got a lot of stuff happening. A lot of news happened over the weekend, y'all. A lot of news happening over the weekend. So, I'm trusting that everything is went well on your end, but on other folks' end, it may not have gone as well. We got some good stuff to tell you about in the news, but we got some not so good stuff to talk about that happening in the news as well. Okay, I guess what we need to do first of all, and as I normally do, I just go ahead and get some commercials out of the way first of all, and then when we finish our commercials, we'll come back and we'll talk about what's been happening in the world, okay, and around your state and around your country and around your county, around your city, and around your community. Okay? Sure will. All right, y'all. We'll be right back in just a few minutes, okay? Just a few minutes.
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs! That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me!
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Sonia Bay's Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal-infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Bay's Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menwear needs.
The 11th. It's time for the annual Gospel Soul Bowl. Gospel Soul. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. Live at the Greater True Pine Baptist Church, 130 North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola, Florida, where Isaac Williams is pastor. The 11th year of the Gospel Soul Bowl. And it's going to be live. Performing live, it's Pastor James McGee of the Humble Spirit. Dion Bell and the Brothers. It's the Pastor Singer. Memphis, Tennessee's on the Brown Thorn. The Wings of Faith, Divine Harmony, Saturday, January 3rd. The tour's open at 3:30 p.m. The concert starts at 4:30 p.m. Greater True Vine Baptist Church in Pensacola. The scripture will be given to you by Minister Hubert Tillman. A prayer brought to you by Minister Michael D. Get ready for a solo by Michael Jackson. Your MC, Eddie Snell, sir. Hosted by the Spiritual Persuaders. Get those tickets now. Advance ticket donation $30, $35 the day of the show. Get them at Goodfellas Barbershop, the original King's Barbershop. Reason Go Food Vendor. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. The Gospel Soul Bowl. For more information, contact Eddie Snell at 850-525-7188.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is, with unity, we won't turn back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email themlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I still have a dream.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, live on Blab TV, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
You don't want to miss the citywide celebration, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola, live on Blab TV.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
All right, good morning, Pensacola. Good morning, good morning. You got Vernon this morning. I'm going to say good morning, Mr. Porter, and everybody else under the sound of my voice this morning. I hope everybody had a great holiday. You know, today is the beginning of Kwanzaa, y'all. Today is the beginning of Kwanzaa. So we're going to talk about Kwanzaa and some of the principles of Kwanzaa and so forth as we go along here, okay? As we go along today. So you got some good stuff that we're going to be dealing with. Not only that, we're going to be talking about some of the things that are going on in the news, some of the stuff that's going on in your community and in public service announcements as well. Hopefully we'll be talking to Sheriff Chip Simmons. Yeah, Sheriff Chip Simmons, somebody from the Sheriff Department at about 8:30, He's not on Christmas vacation, so a lot of these folks are on Christmas vacation. So some of them I won't get a chance to speak to until after the holidays. Like on Monday, Mamie says she's gonna be on Monday, and so they'll probably be on Mondays and Tuesdays, and maybe Wednesday. I think we're gonna be off Wednesday and Thursday since it's gonna be New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, just like we did this week, and then be back on Friday. Then in January, we're going to continue our normal process, our normal schedule again. And I just want to remind you what's coming up. Like I said, Kwanzaa officially starts today, the 26th. And not only is Kwanzaa is starting, okay, not only Kwanzaa is starting, it's just the beginning of January. January is less than 1 week away, and we're gonna be celebrating MLK month. It's gonna be celebrating MLK month. Okay, and we got a lot of things on schedule for MLK month this year. Also, the Ella Jordan House is having the essay contest. We're gonna talk about that, and we're also going to talk about Black History. Black History coming up now. Black History coming up in February, but I want to petition everybody, y'all, everybody, not just wait to February to celebrate Black History. Don't do that. Let's celebrate Black History every day of the week, okay? Every day of the week. That's just what we're doing here on WBQP Radio and WBQP TV. We are going to celebrate Black History all year long. We're going to give you some Black History facts as you listen to this show. Hopefully some stuff that you didn't know about, and hopefully stuff that even if you did know about it, we want you to teach your kids. We want you to educate yourselves about Black history and so forth, okay? And because it's going to be up on us with all the attacks that we got on Black history these days, okay? All the attacks that we have on Black history these days. I'm telling you, it's gonna be up to us. Okay, going to be up to us. All right, I want to just, before I go into the news item this morning, before I go into the news item and what's happening around the world this morning, I just want to take another quick commercial break so I can get those out of the way. But while I do that, y'all, I want everybody to know and how to get this station, okay? I want everybody to know and how to get this station. Here is you just send this link, y'all, to everybody you know. Text it to everybody you know. Tell it to everybody you know. This link is to get us is rdo.to/WBQP. Simple as that. rdo.to, okay? to/WBQP. All right, and then you got us loud and clear. You got us loud and clear, okay? And but for right now, I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, let's talk about what's been happening around the world and around your community, okay? Thank you.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Hey, Escambia. Today, we're talking trash, specifically bulk waste.
Starting July 1st, 2023, bulk waste service will be called for pickup. You can schedule a pickup by calling the ECUA Customer Service Department anytime before 2 p.m. on the day prior to your normal pickup day. Bulk pickup is still included at no additional charge.
Check out ecua.fl.gov for more information.
Know what to throw, 850.
From affordable home equity lines and home loans to high-yield checking that pays 5.05% APY, Pen Air combines innovative banking with a commitment to our community. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
The Service Center at Pete Moore Chevrolet can maintain the life of your vehicle regardless of make or model. Our certified factory-trained technicians have the expertise for domestic and import vehicles. And the Pete Moore Advantage provides you complimentary services whenever you stop by. Our Collision Center accepts all insurance, provides lifetime warranties on all workmanship and paint, and offers a deductible reimbursement program. So when you need service or repair, let the Pete Moore Service and Collision Center work for you.
Hi, I'm Jessica Ford. I'm the owner of FD Builds. Energy efficiency is very important in today's market. With higher interest rates and rising costs, it's important that home buyers maintain their bottom line of affordability. The nice thing about natural gas and natural gas appliances is that it's more energy efficient than their electrical counterparts, and at the end of the day, utility bills are lower. Our relationship with the Pensacola Energy team is phenomenal. From customer service to their field teams, it's just a seamless process. We love Pensacola Energy.
Looking to start a career or change your current career? Pensacola State College is the place for you. Choose from short-term, high-demand career and technical education programs ranging from commercial vehicle driving to medical assisting. Call 850-484-2000.
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs! That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me!
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Well, happy holidays, everybody. Christmas is over with, but happy holidays. All right, you need to get on the horn and let everybody know that Vernon is on this morning. Yeah, the day after Christmas, Vernon is on this morning. And we're going to talk about a lot of things that are happening around the world, y'all. Happening around the world. You know, one of the biggest things I want to talk about this morning, one of the good news things. Now, let's start off with the good news, and hopefully we can end with some good news. How about that? Let's start off with some good news and end with some good news, okay? Now, you know the best thing that happened over the Christmas holidays, other than Santa Claus, okay? Other than Santa Claus. Santa Claus came on yesterday, and I know all the kids are happy. The big kids and little kids, the grown kids and the ungrown kids, and everybody's happy about Santa Claus. But guess what? What about that lotto? Yes, sir. The Powerball or the lotto. I don't know which one it was, y'all. But all I can tell you is that, hey, it was a doozy, y'all. The jackpot ended up being $1.8 billion. $1.8 billion. Okay? $1.8 billion. And they had a single winner. A single winner, y'all. One person won $1.8 billion out of Arkansas. Okay? Out of Arkansas. $1.8 billion. And I don't know what option they decided to take. But if they decided to do that $1.8 billion over a 20-year period, or if they decided to cash out, the cash out money was something like $835 million, okay? $835 million. Can you believe that? $835 million, okay? And you know that don't mean that they're gonna walk away with $1.8 billion or even $835,000, cause you know your Uncle Sam is gonna get his share, okay? And I would imagine Uncle Sam gonna get about the maximum. I believe the maximum tax rate is about 35% or something like that. So they're gonna get theirs, and depending on what state you're in, you know the state also have some states have state taxes. I don't know about the state of Arkansas, but they will also get their share. So you know, but again, I can bet you though, even if they just collected pure monies, if they collected one half of that, that'd have been over 450,000, probably 450 to 500,000, 450 to $500 million. Okay, can you imagine what you can do with that kind of money? I don't know. I can't even imagine that kind of money. But you know, you think that's a lot of money, but back in 2022 or 2023, there was a man out in California. I believe his name was Edwin Castro. He won the biggest lottery of all, which was something like $2.4 billion. Okay, $2.4 billion. Don't have to study up and see whatever happened to him. Okay, see what happened to him and how he spent that money and where he's at right now. I know he must be living. He must be living somewhere, living large. I can tell you that right now. He probably somewhere living really large right about now. But that's the good news, y'all. That is the good news that we can talk about this morning. Okay, that's really the good news we can talk about this morning, man. And I'm glad for him. I'm glad for him. I'm glad somebody. And in fact, he kind of ought to help me, send me a little bit of it, cause I did kind of contribute to that. I'm not normally a lottery player, but that's what I did. I decided to play the lottery. You know what else I did? You know what else I did this year? I bought everybody in my family a lottery ticket. Okay, and so that could have been the biggest Christmas gift of all, a $1.8 million Christmas gift. But there's also a lot of local, when I say local prizes, but there's a lot of other winnings as well. See, that's just a big pot. So whomever I bought the lottery tickets for, maybe not, maybe they win something. Even if they won $20, hey, I just threw a lottery ticket in as a bonus to everything else I decided that I gave my folks for Christmas. So I wonder what happened. I wonder if you did do that. You buy somebody a lottery ticket and they win, and then they don't even share it with you. Wouldn't that be something else? I tell you, I don't know. Let's talk about some of the stuff on the national basis here before I go any further. A lot of stuff happened on the national front. A lot of stuff happened on the national front. I'm not going to deal too much with what's going on in the national front, but I am going to cover a little bit of that, okay? A little bit on the national front. One of the things on the national front you probably need to be aware of, that your deranged president, yes, I said it, okay? He is at it again. He struck and attacked Nigeria. Now, you know, Nigeria's a black country, so he didn't have any problem with that. Okay, he attacked Nigeria under, I think, another false flag about ISIS and stuff like that. Okay, but at any rate, you need to read about it if you're interested in that in your particular news source to get the background to it. Okay. Also, world news. President Zelensky out of Ukraine has been talking to the U.S. again about some peace talks at all, and they trying to come up with a plan that is more favorable to Ukraine and not more favorable to Russia. And so they've been holding talks over the Christmas holidays with the U.S. trying to get peace. Zelensky is trying to get peace in his country, and not being taken over by Russia. Okay, trying to get peace without being taken over by Russia. Also, the other big news on the national scene are the Epstein files. Okay, they have released millions and millions more copies, if you will, of the Epstein files, and then they still need more time to release more and more. And not only that, Congress is a little upset with their boy because the administration has not released it as directed by law. Okay, so it's been more than a week now. Today, it was a week ago that they should have had all of the files released, and we don't believe that even half of it has been released yet. Okay, but they released a lot over the Christmas holidays and so forth. So we'll find out what's happening on that front. Congress is also entertaining holding Pam Bondi accountable for violating the law. Pam Bondi she's the Attorney General of the United States, which should be the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States. And so she's not even enforcing the laws that she's in charge to be in. So that is certainly an issue that we're going to have to deal with. Also, turning the page on the national scene, the young lady, I think she was a black lady, a lady that starred in The Lion King, and she was also in the Broadway production of The Lion King. 26-year-old Armani D. Smith. She was killed over the holidays by her boyfriend. Okay, by her boyfriend. He was arrested for her death. So probably a lot of stuff in the background that you probably need to know about. So however you get your news source, go and get the details on that. But I just want to bring you the headlines of that. Also on the national scene, that was scheduled to be a jazz concert, if you will, a jazz event at the Kennedy Center. And as you know, President DeRange put his name on the Kennedy Center, called it the Trump Kennedy Center, and that upset a lot of people. And it upset the performance, the jazz performance, the person that's supposed to be responsible for the jazz performance. And when he found out that Trump has changed the name of the Kennedy Center, he said he had been playing there since the inception of the Kennedy Center. And so he certainly canceled the event with that, okay? And we're going to hear a lot more about that as well. Trump putting his name on every damn thing. Speaking of being Trump deranged syndrome, he has it bad. He definitely has it bad, in my opinion. He has it bad. A lot of the events there, since he installed himself as the chairman of the Kennedy Center, and then fired every other member that didn't agree with him and installed his own cronies at the Kennedy Center, the attendance and everything at the Kennedy Center has been down tremendously since then. So it seemed to me, I don't know, but it seemed to me that everything he touches, he thinks it's turned to gold. But you're going to see it's probably not gold. It's probably fool's gold. Okay? And that's my opinion. All right, so I can bring in the headlines and I can bring you my opinions. And the reason I can bring you my opinions because it's my show. And, that's who I am. Also, another item on the national news scene. If you remember 3 or 4 weeks ago, that terrific plane crash, the UPS plane that crashed in Kentucky, I believe it was in Kentucky, claimed its 15th victim over the Christmas holidays. Okay, claimed its 15th victim over the Christmas holidays. Yeah, wow. That is absolutely amazing. So that is certainly what you got to the families have to deal with over the Christmas holidays. Okay, another issue that's going on around the world is that you remember the Russia hoax, and the last man that dealt with it was a man by the name of Jack Smith. Well, they called him in to a private, instead of having, he wanted an open hearing in Congress, but Congress would not have him testify openly, but they had him in a closed door session. And now Jack Smith is demanding that the House release the full closed door session, okay, about what's happening, what he testified to behind closed doors. As another victim of the Trump derangement syndrome of his presidency, we had another business to close due to his tariff policies. Jim Beam, okay? Jim Beam is closing his plant in Kentucky, y'all. Jim Beam is closing his plant in Kentucky as a result of some of the tariffs. That's what they're claiming. Okay, but read all about it. Read all about it. Okay, read all about it. Another issue we're going to talk about a little bit later on into the show, where we have time, is that, this is a national issue, but it affects everybody around the country, nationally, state, and local. Not everybody had a white Christmas, okay? Not everybody had a happy Christmas. A lot of folks had a blue Christmas. Mental health is at its all-time highest around the country. So please, and we're going to talk about that a little later on into the program, about mental health and things that you can do with your mental health issue. Check on people that you think might have some issues with mental health and so forth. So please do that. Now, speaking of that subject on mental health, which takes me to another national story where a man walks into a library of all places and stabs a woman to death, in the back. And he is certainly having that, they thinking that it was a lot of the issues, mental issues that he is dealing with. But you will hear a lot more about that story as we go along, okay? And this also takes us back again to some state news and what's happening around the state of Florida. A man kills his wife and shoots and hurts his stepdaughter over an argument over a football game. Can y'all believe that? Over a football game, okay? Over a football game, and then kills himself, okay? So again, these issues of mental health, they don't know what to call it. They was arguing. She asked him to turn the television off, some game, and one thing led to another and another. He had been drinking and so forth, and one argument led to another, and it resulted in her fatal death. The near death, almost killed his stepdaughter, and would probably, in front of their 2-year-old child. And they had a son that the only reason he escaped because he had went his mother before the argument ended. His mother just told her son to just go to the neighbors and call 911. As he was on his way to the neighbors, that's how he heard the gunshots and everything. That's the reason that he escaped, okay? That's the reason that he escaped. Wow. All right, let's talk about some other issues that's on the state level And that's what I think that happened. That the guy that stabbed the woman, I think this happened down in Palm Beach, Florida. But again, that just highlights issues that we have to deal with, y'all. We have to deal with. Some kind of a good news, if you will, statewide, which kind of surprised me, was that we had a Haitian American that was appointed as a judge in Florida 17th Circuit. Okay, and a Haitian American was appointed judge in Florida's 17th Circuit, and I think the person's name was Kello or something like that. You just take it and kind of look it up, the actual name or yourself. Okay, and one other thing that's going on the state level that might be of interest to you. It just always amazes me how politics work, or how it doesn't work. You tell me whether it works or don't. What I found that, we were reporting last week about this new law that they just passed in October about the license plate holders that goes around. The reason they passed that that law in part was because people was having those plates, your favorite plates that you have, celebrating your team or something like that, or your organization, or your sorority, or your fraternity, those plate badges that are around. And the rationale, one of the rationales was that it covered up that little yellow sticker. That little yellow sticker is what you call your registration sticker, and it was covering it up. Some law enforcement officers couldn't see what's on that registration sticker, and then other folks use certain covers that will deflect light that they couldn't. The license plate readers and the toll readers could not read their tag. Now the legislation is considering doing away altogether with that little blue sticker. That little yellow sticker. Can you believe that? So it's not a done deal, but there's some legislation passed in Tallahassee now. Just do away with that altogether. So you tell me what's happening. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, yeah. My mamas used to say all the time, if you don't like what's happening today, just wait till tomorrow. Okay? All right, now let's look on the local scene, see what's going on in the local scene. And we have not had a good I'll say it was a good experience during the holidays. We had a lot of killing, a lot of people dying on the highways. Two people were arrested in a drug bust that was happening in a Motel 6 on Highway 29. Just a lot of good, not so good things is happening on the local scene. But one of the other things that happening on the local scene that I think that you might want to pay attention to is traffic accidents, y'all. It is the holidays. It is certainly the holidays, and I tell you, we just have not had some not so good experience during the holidays. The 41-year-old person was killed, and a woman was injured on Highway 98 during the holidays. Okay, 41-year-old killed, and a woman was injured on Highway 98. Also, there was a 48-year-old motorcyclist killed in a crash on Interstate 65 over the Christmas holidays. And they had a a 4-car pileup, okay, and where one person was injured in the cantonment area up around Tate High School, in that area up there as well. Then three more people was killed in an accident, in a head-on accident in and around, again, on I-65, which also involved impaired driving, and it was horrific. It was horrific. The state of Florida has also put on a special campaign to watch out for people that was impaired driving. So hopefully they caught as many as they can before things got out of hand. But apparently, a lot of them was slipped through as well. Okay. Also, on the local, I'm trying to get out all of the bad stuff out the way first, so we can kind of end on some of the good stuff that was happening around town. Okay. Well, let's talk about some of the good stuff that's going to be happening around town. One of the things I do want to caution you before I get into the good stuff that's happening around town, which led to may not be some great stuff, is that it is the holidays, and now we talked both with the sheriff department and the Pensacola Police Department, and they both are seeing an uptick in what we call crimes of opportunities. And the most obvious and the easiest crime of opportunity is when you leave your car unlocked, okay? Even just for a few minutes. Just for a few minutes. The sheriff department now is looking for a young lady because she was caught on camera burglarizing cars in the a gas station and service station parking lot. Okay, so don't think just because you're just going to go in the store and out real quickly that you'll be okay. No, make sure you lock your car. A lot of opportunity. We reported last week another guy, he got busted same way on camera, and what they're not counting on is not having that third eye in the sky, which is that camera. And so, but at any rate, these are crime of opportunity. Even in your driveway, make sure that your car is locked. People come around, they look around, and what we call the crimes of opportunity. If a door is unlocked, they will open it and get whatever they can out of there. So make sure that you kind of help prevent crime by doing your part and leaving those cars locked. Okay, whether you're going to the store, whether you're in your driveway, or whatever, kind of keep them locked. Okay, kind of keep them locked. All right. Also, if you want to be doing business downtown, make your arrangement. If you intend to do business, if you got to go downtown and do any kind of business downtown, or if you work downtown, or you work when I said downtown, let me call it in town, because on January the 5th, the reimagining process, the reimagining project will start. They're going to reimagine Palafox. There's going to be a lot of inconveniences for folks. Hopefully that's going to be finished maybe by March or April time frame, but there are going to be some inconveniences. So if you're downtown, make sure that you prepare yourself. Okay, prepare yourself for that inconvenience. It's a little inconvenient now, but it's going to be nicer later. Okay, turning the page on another positive thing, you want to call it a positive thing. Remember all of the brouhaha? You remember the brouhaha about the drag queen shows downtown at the Pensacola Singer Theater? Well, it went on as scheduled, as my English friends would say, went on as scheduled, and it went on without incident. The city of Pensacola did beef up their security. They did have protesters, but it went on as scheduled, and it also was a sellout. Okay, it was a sellout, and so things did go fine with that. Speaking of Pensacola Police Department, the Pensacola Police Department have 3 finalists now bidding for the chief of police, and so they got 3 names. You got to do your news source to find out who those 3 names are. They're going to be set up somewhere. They're gonna have a public forum. I don't have the information for you right now, but again, my job is to just give you the headlines. If you want to know more about it, that give you a reason to go and look it up in your news source. Maybe it's listed in the Pensacola News Journal or whatever. I can't remember where it was anyway. I got so much stuff to keep on my mind here, but I just want to let you know there are 3 finalists right now for the job of this Pensacola City Police Department after Eric, our police chief, resigned back here during December, during the summertime here. Also, since it's Christmas time and the holidays, and you know you're going to be eating out a lot, be very careful and do your homework now, because the restaurant inspectors has been busy, and they've been issuing citations for over 17 restaurants that have violated the health standards. So it's your job to find out which one of those 17 restaurants that is. But we also had 6 restaurants had perfect score. You might want to find out who those restaurants are as well, because those are one that you may want to eat at. Okay, you may want to eat at. The first responders, okay, have made a lot of children happy over the Christmas holidays. On Christmas Eve, you know, sometimes when you can't get to go to Christmas, well, you can't go see the Christmas light. Maybe they can bring the Christmas light to you. And that's just what happened at the Studer Hospital for children. The city's police department and all the first responders came out in the parking lot with their lights on. You know, who said they had to be Christmas lights? But they're blue, white, yellow lights and so forth. And they was there to give the joy of the children looking out of one that's in the hospital that couldn't come out and couldn't be out to see the restaurant and to see the Christmas lights. They brought the Christmas light to the kids. Not only did they bring the Christmas lights to the kids, okay, they also brought gifts and so forth to the kids. Okay, there was a whole group of folks that got together, and for those kids that was needy, and also kids that's in the hospital that couldn't enjoy Santa Claus at home, well, these first responders, police officers, and many other groups made that happen for them. Okay, these are the good news things that are happening over the Christmas holiday. There's another couple of groups of individuals that provided over 40 families with a Christmas Day dinner. Wasn't that nice? A Christmas Day dinner over the weekend. I mean, over the Christmas holidays, as well as the Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots was one of the groups that I believe were responsible for bringing the toys to the kids at the Studer Hospital. Toys for Tots is also an organization that is run by the United States Marine Corps. That is their pet project. And so those are the good things. I think these are the good things that's been happening over the weekend. I hope everybody really enjoyed it. One other bit of national news that I did not talk about is that you remember Senator, he was either Senator or Congressman Ben Sasse. Then he eventually retired from Congress and went to be a president of one of the institution higher education here in Florida. Well, he's a local figure. I mean a national figure that has been diagnosed with cancer. Okay, a deadly form of cancer. So he's been diagnosed with I believe it's I forget which form of cancer it is, but he made that announcement. It's a fatal form of cancer that he has been diagnosed with. So if you remember him, okay, then you know who I'm talking about. He has issues with the Trump administration as well. Okay, so you probably remember him. The other bit of news that I forgot to mention, which is not so good, was that also they arrested a lady in Bruton, Alabama. Okay, this is something that you want to keep your eyes on for Halloween, and whomsoever that giveth away your kids candy and stuff like that. Okay, they found traces of marijuana and weed and stuff in candy bags. So that lady has been arrested. Okay, she has been arrested in Bruton, Alabama for that. Also, one of other issues statewide, countywide, regional wide. If y'all remember the ship, the USS Alabama, the USS United States ship is they going to sink over in Okaloosa County, and they was going to make a refi of it, but that is not said and done yet. The state of New York, or somebody in New York City, trying to put a halt to that because they feel like that is a bit of history. That ship was named the USS United States, and they don't want to see it sunk to the bottom of the ship. They want it restored and made a museum out of New York. So keep your eyes out on that. The Okaloosa County folks said, we own this ship, we're going to sink it, and we're going to do what we're going to need to do with it. So we'll see what happens with that, okay? We'll see what happens with that. Alrighty then. Alright, I think I pretty much covered everything. We've been having busy now. We've been having busy last couple of days. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff in the news, a lot of stuff going on in the community. When we come back, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the community stuff and the events that's going on in the community so that you don't miss what's going around in the community, okay? But we're going to take another quick, what I call quick commercial break. You may not think they're so quick on your end, but they're quick commercial breaks on my end. But when we come back, we're going to talk about some other stuff that's happening closer to you and with your organization. We're going to talk about the MLK Parade. We're going to talk about stuff that's near and dear to you. All right? Stay tuned while we're gone on break. You just tell everybody that Vernon is on this morning, okay?
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street, Pensacola, Florida. Gentlemen, fine clothing at an affordable price. Suits starting at $139. Dress, shoes, hats, and accessories here at Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida. Call today at 429-7146, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida.
Are you searching for a great bank in Pensacola? Your search ends here with Bank of Pensacola. At Bank of Pensacola, we go beyond just being a bank. We prioritize exceptional customer service to meet all your banking needs. Whether you're interested in our checking or savings accounts, CDs, IRAs, or auto and home loans, or even credit cards, we have the perfect solutions for you. Visit us today for more information.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I still have a dream.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, live on Blab TV, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
You don't want to miss the citywide celebration, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola, live on Blab TV.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs! That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me!
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is with unity, we won't turn back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right, y'all, welcome back and happy holidays. We're coming up on a new year, y'all, 2026. 2025, it looked like it felt like it was a long year. It really felt long. I'm telling you, with this administration, it really felt long. But actually, the year was kind of short, if you ask me. I just can't believe I can remember this time last year, just like it was 3 or 4 months ago, but hey, time flies when you're having fun, and particularly when you get my age, time just passed by so quick. It always, whenever I think about the passing of time, I have to think about my grandmother. When I used to be 11, 12, and 13 years old, and I used to tell her when I couldn't do certain things, and I used to tell her, I'd be glad when I get grown I can do that. She said, son, don't be wishing your life away, okay? She said, once you get that age, time gonna come so fast, you're gonna regret it. Now I know what you mean, because time is coming fast. Because you know, when you get my age, you in the fourth quarter. Yes, sir, you're in the fourth quarter. So you never know when you're gonna make that touchdown. That is for sure. So it's flying by. But anyway, y'all, good morning. We had talked about a lot of stuff that was in the national news and stuff around the state of Florida and stuff around the Gulf Coast and stuff around the Escambia County, and we talked about stuff around the city of Pensacola. But let's talk about the community news, okay? Community news, what I said, community news that you can use, okay? Community news that you can use. Now we talked about, we will be talking about the MLK parade, but I'm gonna save that for last because we got a lot of stuff I always cover about the MLK parade. Okay, but let's first of all, we're talking about the new year and how we're gonna bring the new year in. Well, let's bring it in with a great gospel Super Bowl. Okay, the Edisdale production, y'all, present their 10th annual gospel Super Bowl. Okay, the 10th annual gospel Super Bowl is going to be held at the First Baptist Church of Warrenton. It's located at 105 Gulf Beach Highway, where Dr. James Miller is the pastor there. They got a great lineup, y'all. They got a great lineup. They got, the singing preacher himself, Dr. James Miller, gonna be performing. They're gonna have the spiritual persuaders, the freshman singers of Cleveland, Ohio, the Vestas singers of Slidell, Louisiana, the Browns 4 of Memphis, Tennessee, the Vested Thomas children, the Thomas children of coming back. You're gonna have Dr. Pastor James McGee and the Humble Spirituals of Thomasville, Alabama, Ruth Black and the Harmonettes of Alexander, Alabama. You got a star-studded program lined up for you. You definitely don't want to miss that. The tickets, the donations, if you will, is only $30 in advance. You can get them right now, or you can buy them at the door, but it's going to be $35 at the door. So why wait? Get your tickets right now. If you're looking for tickets, you go down to the Goodfellows Barbershop or the Original Kings Barbershop, or Grease and Go food vendors, and or you can just call Deacon Eddie Snell. Call Eddie Snell at 850-525-7188. Okay, call Eddie Snell at 850-525-7188 and get your tickets. Okay, get your tickets. Okay, get your ticket, if you will, for the Super Bowl. Okay, for the Super Bowl. All right. Also, we are going to have a Kwanzaa program. Okay, this coming Sunday. We're going to talk about. I want to talk about Kwanzaa in a little bit. Okay, we're going to talk about Kwanzaa and the principles of Kwanzaa and so forth. Okay, but we are going to have on this Sunday, in honoring Napoleon Williams, okay, the Kwanzaa celebration. Kwanzaa starts today, y'all, 26th of December, and we're gonna talk about the whole thing of Kwanzaa, okay, the whole concept of Kwanzaa this morning, okay. But on December 28th at 4 p.m. We're going to hold a special celebration of Kwanzaa at the Kakur Institute, located at 300 North Ruth Street, right here in Pensacola, okay? Right here in Pensacola. The celebration on purpose, okay? Kwanzaa. Also, we're going to hold a, I believe, let me see, I can't, Doc, I believe Dr. Walter Gully is going to the Ella L. Jordan Museum, okay? He were to send me, and I had to get on Walter. Let me see, he probably did send it to me. I probably didn't. Let me look in my email. That's what I have to do. Sometimes I forget to check my emails. Don't forget to check for emails, but I always forget to check the emails, okay? We're going to, that they are going to have the Ella Jordan Museum is going to hold a essay contest, okay? An essay contest. And now I don't see it here. I don't see the information I have, but I do. We spoke with him the other day about it. But if you are a student, if you are a student and you're interested in participating in the Black History, MLK Black History survey, essay, let's say survey, essay, because we want our children to learn more about Black history. So whoever is going to be from a 500 to a 700 word essay that you have to submit to the L.L. Jordan House. Please call the L.L. Jordan House or Walter Gully or anybody that's involved with the L.L. Jordan Museum. The first prize is going to be $500. Second prize is going to be $300. The third prize is going to be $100. So we want you to go ahead and get registered for that, and have you submit your essay, so that you are going to be able to earn some money while you learn. That's what I say. You earn while you learn. Okay, you earn while you learn. Okay, it's a great deal. Okay. Also, one other thing I want you to think about for the coming new year. Maybe you want to learn to dance. Okay, the Dance Connection is having, they give urban ballroom dance classes, swing out dance classes, line dance classes. So if you want to get into dancing this year, get a hold of Dance Connection. Okay, Dance Connection. They took a Christmas reprieve, but classes start again on January the 8th, 2026. So you get a hold of anybody that's in the Dance Connection organization, Shaw Sugar Bear Shumo, Tony DJ Smooth Anderson, or Miss Gail Johnson. Either any of these folks, just go ahead and give them a call and get involved with dance classes. Okay. Now, also, you know that over the holidays, the local government offices are closed. Like they was closed on January the 24th. December 24th, which is New Year's, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and today. So a lot of the offices are closed today. So you might not be able to get what you've done governmental wise, but they'll be open again on Monday. But again, they will be closed again maybe on New Year's Eve, which is December 31st, and New Year's Day, January the 1st. So if you got any governmental businesses, so might want to check with the schedule. I believe they will be open again on January the 2nd again. So if you're downtown or you're doing any business with the government, you might want to check your schedule. Okay, just check your schedule. All right, now January obviously is Black History Month. MLK Month. Black History is in February. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on after we talk about Kwanzaa, right? We got a lot of stuff going on in January, a lot of activities, and particularly right around the MLK Day. And we're talking about events that can happen in Montgomery County, Santa Rosa County, even Okaloosa County, of our friends over in Crestview, Florida, and over in Fort Walton Beach. Okay, so those are our friends over there. They have MLK celebration. I want to get a hold of Miss Jill over there in Crestview. I want to get a hold of Mr. Farrell over in Fort Walton Beach, and Dr. Ray over in Santa Rosa County, and all the folks over here in Montgomery County. And we're going to talk about the events that going on for MLK Month. Okay, what I call the MLK Month. Well, let's talk about the parades. There are going to be MLK parades, and we want you to get registered, y'all, for the MLK parade. Get registered for the MLK parade. Registration is open right now. Okay, it's only $150 to get registered for the parade. If you are a vendor and you want to be a part of the parade, and you can make a lot of money down there, a lot of money. So just get a hold of anybody down at the MLK. I told you I got an MLK hotline, y'all. I got an MLK hotline that you might want to call, okay? And that MLK hotline is 850-378-9242, okay? 850-378-9242 if you want to go on about the parade. We got to have 3 different parades in our area on MLK Day, okay? We got a Milton parade, we got a Pensacola parade, we got a Cantonment parade, and we're going to talk about each of those parades. So if you want to get in, if you want to be a part of any of those parades, you get a hold of the folks that sponsor parades. Call the folks over in Milton. If you want to be in the Milton parade, call the folks here in Pensacola, Mike Keenan, Rose, or anybody that's dealing with the MLK parade in Pensacola. Or you want to get in, also participate with the one in Cantonment. We'll talk about the contact person there in Cantonment as well. So let's participate in all the parades, okay? Let's see if we can participate in all the parades. So if you want to get involved with the MLK parade again, register for the parade. We're going to talk about some of the things, some of the requirements and the criteria of the parade as we go along here. But again, the number is 850-378-9242 for the MLK parade. But let's talk about the MLK activities, okay? Let's talk about the MLK activities that's going on in the whole month of January, okay? The whole month of January. Let's see if we can figure out who's doing what, okay? We figure out who's doing what. Now, this year's theme, okay, they got a great theme this year. It's called With Unity, We Won't Turn Back, okay? With unity, we won't turn back. And you know, this is going to be Pensacola's 37th parade, okay? 37 years we'll be doing this. 37th parade. WBQP will be broadcasting the parade live. We're going to broadcast live from downtown Pensacola, and it's going to be aired on WBQP TV as well as Blab TV live, and it also will be played back throughout the month of January, okay? It's going to be played back throughout the month of January. So you're not going to miss the great MLK parade, because we got your back. But let's start talking about the activities for the whole MLK weekend, y'all. We call it, what I call the MLK weekend. We're starting the MLK celebration off on Thursday, January the 15th, y'all. And if you need information, make sure you contact anybody with the MLK CCC, okay? The MLK CCC. They will be able to give you more further guidance on things I'm going to talk about today, okay? The youth program, okay, 7 p.m. on Thursday, January the 15th, the MLK Youth and what they call the Youth and Young Adult Night. The Youth and Young Adult Night. All these activities this year, and the committee made a decision we're going to get the churches back involved with it. Last year, all the activities was at the Greater Little Rock Baptist Church. This year, all the MLK activities going to be at the Zion Hope Primitive Baptist Church, located at 201 West Leonard Street, right here in Pensacola, Florida, okay? Right here in Pensacola, Florida. They're going to start off on Thursday. The Youth and Young Adult Night is going to start off at 7 o'clock at the Zion Hope Church, and you definitely don't want to miss any of that, okay? If you have any questions about these activities, the president of the CCC is Dr. Douglas Young, okay? Dr. Fred F.W. Dr. F. Douglas Young, okay? And you can contact him or either Sabrina. The number over there at the MLKCCC, the number at the MLKCCC is 850-417-9451, okay? 9451. And they will get you further information, okay? Further information. All right, now, let's talk about the activities that are going to be starting. By the way, we have our Grand Marshal already named for 2026, which is Mr. Lumen May, our County Commissioner, District 3. Lumen is going to be the Grand Marshal for the 2026 parade. All right, now, getting back to the activities, the youth and young adult night is going to be at 7 p.m. at the Zion Hope Primitive Baptist Church. Friday night, I don't know what's happening on Friday, but on Saturday morning, where we have our annual prayer breakfast, is going to be held also at the Zion Hope Primitive Baptist Church. It's going to start at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Okay. Tickets are only $20, I believe. You can buy a table, $160 per table, and invite people that probably can't afford to go. Okay. But you can buy a table for $160. And usually, better do it early because the prayer breakfast is usually sold out. Okay. Prayer breakfast is usually sold out. So you might want to go ahead and get your tickets right now, okay? That is going to be Saturday, January the 17th at 8 a.m. Now, on Saturday night, if you will, the Living the Dream is going to be held at the community, at the Brownsville Community Center. That is also another sellout. If you hadn't got any tickets, see anybody, see Commissioner Lumen May and folks that involved with that. The Rafferty Law Firm is also involved with that. Reverend Marcel Davis is involved with that as well. And so you may want to talk to those folks about those activities so you can get your tickets now and everything, okay? That's going to be Saturday night. On Sunday, we are going to hold our MLK religious service. It is going to be at Zion Hope Baptist Church at 3 p.m., okay? At 3 p.m. So go ahead and put that on your calendar so you can have it. Now, the next day, we're going to wrap it up next day with parades and activities all over the Gulf Coast. We got some activities going over in Okaloosa County, okay, in Crestview. We got some stuff going on over in Fort Walton Beach for celebrating MLK. We got a parade over in Milton that's starting at 9 a.m. in Milton on Stewart Street. They also will have their annual MLK block party, which I believe is at Chester Pruitt Park. I believe that's the name of it, but maybe I've got the park wrong. But it's down there by the church down there. I'll get that right. Eventually I'll get that right. But down there on MLK Boulevard, right there on that down end of the street there on MLK in Milton, Florida, down by the church down there, in that park down there, they have their annual MLK, what they call MLK block party. They have a lot of entertainment and a lot of fun down there for the folks over in Santa Rosa County, okay? Over in Santa Rosa County. Now, over here in Escambia County, of course, we're going to start the MLK parade at 11 a.m., okay? At 11 a.m. So we want you to go ahead and get registered for the parade right now. Get registered for parade. The parade is open for registration. Parade is also open accepting the application for vendors. There's only $100 if you want to be a vendor in the parade. If you want to be a participant in the parade, it's going to be only $150. I think it is maybe $175. I'm not sure, but get a hold of anybody at the MLK hotline, what I call the MLK hotline, okay? To see if you can get your vendor's truck in there, get whatever you got to sell, okay? Whatever you got to sell, okay? Whatever you got to sell, you'll be able to do that. All right, so the parade is going to start promptly 11 o'clock. We're going to have a few changes now, okay, of this parade. We want you to know that. We're just going to talk about the different things that's going to happen. I want you to know that a few changes this year. The route going to change slightly. We're going to start where we always started. We're going to go all the way up to down Garden Street, make a left turn there, going up Palafox, and then around the plaza and back down Palafox. But when you get back down to Palafox again, instead of going straight downtown, because Palafox will be closed due to the Reimagined project is underway. We're going to have to make a slight left turn and then the first right turn. I believe it's Jefferson. I don't know all of my streets downtown, but I believe it go down to Jefferson and go all the way down to Main Street where it's going to be in that. All right, now having said all of that, other changes, the other changes is going to be made is that we are going to, like I said earlier, we're going to be broadcasting this program live, okay? Generally, we used to hold the television grandstand, if you will, usually is right downtown, right in front of the Singer Theater. This year, since we can't go downtown, we are moving our grandstand on Palafox closer to the plaza area there, okay? Close to the plaza and real close to where, if you know about where the Pensacola Little Theater, in that general area there, we are going to be holding our grandstand. That's where we're going to be broadcasting live from, okay? Myself, Sunshine, Cheryl, and Jim are probably going to be broadcasting live activities for the MLK parade, and that's where you want to save your performances for best, because you're going to be on television, okay? You're going to be on television. And while we're talking, make sure when they give you that little number on your, put it on the front of your vehicle, okay? The number on your front of your vehicle, so we can tell who you are coming up. Well, when we coming down the street, we're facing you. Most of the folks have their big signs on the side of the car, but as you facing us, we have a sheet. You know, we can tell who's coming up, and if I can look at your number, I can announce you, have your name, and in fact, if you do that, I can have your name in graphics on television. I have to have all that information already prepared, and I can say number 26 coming up is the Vernon Watson Band, okay? The Vernon Watson Float, or the Vernon Watson Marching Unit, whatever. But whatever you got, I need to know what your number is so I can identify you by your number, because otherwise, sometimes I have to wait until I can get close enough to see you on the side of the band, on the side of your car, and sometimes it'll be a little late to announce who you are. But the bottom line is, I want you to do your best performance. That save your best performance until you get around the plaza, around the little theater. That is the change that we are going to be making. Okay, that's the change that we're going to be making this year. So remember, we're not going out to Palafox, and we're also going to be broadcasting live from right around the MLK Plaza, right around the area where the old the Pensacola Little Theater and the Federal Courthouse, right around in that general area in there. So look for us there, where we'll be broadcasting live, and that we do every year. Okay, so that's that. Now, a couple other notes that I want to make. about the parade, okay? Since this is a parade honoring the life and times and the legacy of the greatest man that ever served this country, Dr. Martin Luther King, okay? This is honoring him. He did so much for civil rights and did so much for us that we want this parade to be a very dignified parade, okay? A very dignified parade, okay? And so that means that we will not accept any units that will use music that is inappropriate, you know, cussing music and stuff like that. That's not the time and the place for that, okay? Not the time and the place for that. So we want whatever whatever music you use, okay? Keep it clean. That's what we asking you to do. Keep the music clean. You can have all the music you want to, but just kind of keep it clean because of the parade, okay? Because of the legacy of Dr. King. Also, your performances as well, you know, your dance acts and stuff like that. Know what we're celebrating and why we're celebrating it, okay? We don't want any acts that's inappropriate. Like I say, we have heard many complaints over the years, y'all. We have heard many complaints over the years about little 6-year-old girls and 4-year-old girls out there twerking. That's probably not appropriate. So if y'all can refrain from that, you kind of put on your best performance. You know, art is art. I'm not judging anybody's performance, anybody's art. Art is art. But there is a time and a place for everything that we see and we do. So all we are asking you is to make sure that you keep the performances, the music, all of that dignified, if you will, okay? All that dignified. And having said all of that, we are going to be honoring our District 3, Lumen May. He is going to be our Grand Marshal for the MLK Parade, okay? He is going to be the Grand Marshal for the MLK Parade. All right, y'all, I tell you, whew, I got a lot. I had to get all that out, but I must tell you now. I must tell you that it's amazing how much we have to really say, and then we don't always get full compliance after all of this, okay? But again, if you want to get in the parade, you'll saw the number and everything. All right, now I want to take a break. When I come back, y'all, I want to talk about Black history, and I want to talk about Kwanzaa when I come back, okay? Black history and Kwanzaa. And then around the 8:30 time frame, I also want to be talking to the sheriff, okay? The Sheriff Chip Simmons comes on every week at 8:30 here, okay? Every week at 8:30, we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk to him about things that's going on the law enforcement arena. All right, y'all. I'll be right back.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors, all when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Some mobile companies make it hard to get a good deal. But at Cox Mobile, we know there's a better way to save. A smarter way. That's why we run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability without breaking the bank. You'll pay as low as $30 per line. It's a win-win. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile.
Stash your money somewhere smarter. With 5.05% APY, PenAir's high-yield checking puts your money to work and earning big. PenAir Credit Union. Join us.
Are you looking to start your education or to change careers? Pensacola State College is the place for you. We offer bachelor's degrees, 2-year degrees, career certificates, and more, ranging from nursing to welding. Apply today. PensacolaState.edu.
surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right, y'all. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, y'all. New Year's coming up, and we got a lot of things that goes on around the beginning of the year, end of the year. You know, this Christmas, we just got past Christmas, and now today is the beginning of Kwanzaa, okay? And I want to talk about Kwanzaa a little bit before, but before I talk about Kwanzaa, you know, Black History is coming up in February, y'all. Black History is coming up in February, but we don't want to just wait to celebrate Black History in February, okay? We don't want to wait to celebrate Black History in February. We want to celebrate Black History all year long, okay? We want to celebrate Black History all year long, if you will. So that's what my goal here at WBQP TV and WBQP Radio is, to give you history 365 days a year rather than on February. And people talk about February and being Black History, and some folks they always laugh tongue in cheek about why February. They gave us a short changes in February, and we get the shortest month of the year. And well, I just want to here to straighten out the fact that is not the case. The man didn't do that to us, okay? We did it to ourselves, okay? And in fact, we didn't do it to ourselves, but Dr. Carter J. Woodson selected February as being the for Black History Month. And in fact, he actually, Dr. Carter J. Woodson, who is the father of Black History, Dr. Carter J. Woodson is the father of Black History. He didn't realize that his initiative would even be a month-long celebration. Now we need to have a year-long celebration, but he didn't realize at the time in 1926, okay, 1926, when he instituted Black History Week in 1926, his idea was to bring, you know, to celebrate our own heritage and what we're doing, our own accomplishment. He created what we call back then was Negro History Week in 1926, and from then it was celebrated as Black History Week until 1974 time frame. I believe it was 74 time frame or 75 time frame in that area, where a group of Kent State students, by that time we wasn't called Negroes by the 1970s. We were black. Yeah, we were black. Like I had a white friend of mine. She used to say black, and she used to say it like she's trying to spit it out of her mouth. Black, black. But anyhow, we were black then, and so they petitioned the government. They petitioned the White House to honor Black History to all month. And so President Gerald Ford did that. He did that with a stroke of a pen, and so we went from Negro History Week to Black History Month, and we've been celebrating it all along on a national basis, and we've celebrated throughout all governmental agencies and everything up until this recent food we got in that he kind of did away with all of the diversity issues and so forth. But don't worry about it. We'll get it back. Trust me, we'll get it back. But that just leads me to say that honor is on us. Okay, before the government was celebrating it, we celebrated ourselves, so we still have to celebrate Black history. And so instead of celebrating it in every year in February, let's celebrate it every day, 365 days a year. Okay, let's celebrate it 365 days a year. All right, y'all. I wanna do my contribution to Black history today. Give you a little bit of Black history fact right now. But when we come back, I want to talk, since it's Kwanzaa, I want to talk a little bit about Kwanzaa before we can get Chip on. Chip Simmons, Montgomery County Sheriff, will be on. He does his weekly appearance every week at 8:30 a.m. So we'll have him on at the time. But let me get my Black history facts in, and then I will talk a little bit about Kwanzaa and then about some local activities about Kwanzaa. Okay? All right, y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In 1965, President Lyndon Baines Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act, bringing down one of the last legal vestiges of Jim Crow segregation. Just 5 days later, an altercation between an unarmed black man and the police sparked riots on the streets of Watts, a predominantly black neighborhood in Los Angeles. The riots revealed that America still faced deep racial issues, and in the coming years, urban unrest roiled cities across the nation.
Dr. King's message of nonviolence wore thin as the 1960s progressed, particularly because violence is everywhere.
As race relations deteriorated, Stokely Carmichael, a young, charismatic, electrifying speaker, was searching for a new way to reframe the civil rights struggle. And he found it through one resonant metaphor.
It's time we stand up and take over. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. We want black power. We want black power. We want black power.
The civil rights movement had been extraordinarily successful, but there has not necessarily been the tangible transformation in black people's living conditions. Carmichael is making the argument that only black power will take black people to that next level.
Hey, what do you want? That's what we gonna get.
The effect was electrifying. Soon after, black power groups were organizing across the country, each with their own idea about what the phrase actually meant.
You got everybody from those that are saying, yes, let's go for elected office, to those that say, let's overthrow the government.
It called for self-determination. It called for an end to nonviolence as the only strategy of the black movement.
Looking back, black power marked a startling shift in the civil rights movement and in the evolution of black consciousness.
Black power is really going to inspire a whole new wave of black elected officials and inspire the black arts movement, using culture to transform what we think of as black identity, proud, strong black women and men.
Black, the word that for decades so many African Americans most dreaded being called, almost overnight became both a battle cry and a badge of honor.
All right, that was our Black History Moment. We're going to bring in a lot of Black History Moment as we go along this year and do this program. We're going to do a lot of Black History facts, and also we're going to have our local Black History historian on, Mrs. Robin Richard. Robin is probably the most notable person that I know that knows so much about local black history, and she will have a moment every week to talk about local black history that you probably need to know about, and you probably already know about some of these facts, but some of these facts you don't know about, in Black history. And so we're gonna see if we can schedule on one time for a few minutes every week to give us some local Black history facts, as well as we're gonna talk about some national Black history facts as well. Okay. Now, today is the 26th of January of December, and for a lot of you, it represents the beginning of Kwanzaa. Okay, and you ask yourself, Kwanzaa, what is Kwanzaa? Okay, well, let me tell you, let me tell you about Kwanzaa. Okay, and I know many of you know that. For a long time, I did not understand Kwanzaa, but I guess about 20 or 30 years ago, I met some folks, Mrs. Arnold, and she is the person I credited with having the most knowledge and the most foresight in celebrating Kwanzaa here in Pensacola. And and I'm glad I had an opportunity to I do what I call in my Pensacola Wants to Know series. I call a the Unsung Hero series, and I interview local people of importance about their life and times. And Mrs. Arnold is one of the people I had the opportunity to interview before she passed on. You know, all other folks like Reverend H.K. Matthews and on and on and on, Miss Georgia Blackman, and on and on and on. I got people that I got a chance to interview. But Mrs. Arnold is one of the first people that I knew was celebrating Kwanzaa here in Pensacola. And you ask yourself, well, what is Kwanzaa, right? If you don't know, Kwanzaa that's an annual celebration. It's an African American kind of a celebration. It starts on December the 26th and it ends on January the 1st. Okay, and it has 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Okay, 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Now let me tell you, Kwanzaa was created by a man called Dr. Karamas. He's out of San Francisco area, out of the San Francisco area, and I'm trying to think of the other city right outside of a black city. I call it a black city right outside of San Francisco. But anyway, he is responsible for Kwanzaa, if you will. He created the concept of Kwanzaa, and it's a traditional African American celebration. Now, what he did was he celebrated Kwanzaa based on 7 principles of Kwanzaa. And if you don't know much about Kwanzaa, please dig in. You know, do your research. Do your research on Kwanzaa, okay? And he celebrated it by 7 candles that he used. Okay, he used 7 candles for Kwanzaa to kind of the 7 candles kind of I believe symbolizes what Kwanzaa is all about, and the principles of Kwanzaa. And each day of Kwanzaa represent something. Okay, each day represents something. And it start off, and they want folks to celebrate Kwanzaa start beginning on the 26th until January the 1st. So the 7 days of Kwanzaa is in honor of, and now some of the names I cannot pronounce, but I can tell you what they mean. That Ujamaa, okay, Ujamaa is the first day of Kwanzaa. That's unity, okay. Kumajimalata, something like they call it self-determination. Ujamaa, Ujima, is collective work and responsibility. And also these are African words, y'all. These are African words that I probably need to take some Swahili courses in order to how to pronounce these words. But also another principle we call Ujamaa. That's corporate economics. Nia, that's mean purpose. And Kuma is creativity, and Imani, which is called faith. Those are basically the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Okay, those are 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and what we should do each day. What we should do on each day is to celebrate Kwanzaa each day, starting the 26th. Today, we should be celebrating Umoja, which means unity. Okay, unity, and what that means is we need to start striving for. Unity in the family, and unity in unity in the family, unity in the community, unity and God knows that's what we need in this country today. Unity based on race and nationality and community. Let's start that. That is the first day of Kwanzaa. I mean, that's the first principle of Kwanzaa. Okay, and the second principle, which is the next day, the 27th, we should be celebrating Kumajimalati or something like that. Kuchijimalati, something like that. I can't pronounce the word, but what it means though. It means, and you look it up. Y'all help me out. It means self-determination. On that day, we should be defining ourselves. Naming ourselves, creating ourselves, speaking for ourselves. It's about self-determination. These are principles that I want folks to know and understand. The third day of Kwanzaa, which is the 28th of the month, is called Ujama. Okay, what that means is collective work and responsibility. Collective work and responsibility. Okay, Ujama means building and maintaining community. Okay, building and maintaining community together, solving problems together, and so forth. Okay, and then on the 29th, they talk about Ujama. That means corporate economics. Okay, trying to build and maintain your own businesses and your own profits. Build it for yourself, like we did in the days of segregation. That's a great thing to do. All right, on the 30th, which is called Nia, purpose. That's the principle. Nia is purpose, and you're doing as much as we can to leave our community more beautiful than we found it. Okay, that's what that means. It's you got a purpose in life, and it's all for a great beneficial purpose in life. That's the next to the last day, and on the January the 1st, we kind of accumulate the celebration. It's called Amani, which is faith. Okay, which is faith. That means kind of like believing in your people, believing in your parents, believing in your teachers, believing in your leaders, believing in the righteous things to do in your life. Okay, but these are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa that I think that you need to understand. This is not a religious practice holiday. It's just more of a cultural kind of a event. Kwanzaa is more of a cultural event than it is a religious kind of a event. So in this, it was designed specifically for African Americans, regardless of their religion and regardless of any religious beliefs that they have. Okay, and so it's okay to say Happy Hanukkah. It's okay to say Happy Kwanzaa. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Just tell everybody. In fact, you got 7 days to do it, and we want you to practice those 7 days. Okay, we want you to practice those 7 days of Kwanzaa and know a little bit about it. Now, having said all of that, I had a friend of mine one time. She said, "Well, I'm white. Okay, I'm white. Can I celebrate Kwanzaa?" Why not? The principles are general principles. Anybody can celebrate. But what we've done, Dr. Karana wanted to do, is to want to make sure that black folks, all black folks trying to celebrate the same principle. Yes, non-black folks can most definitely celebrate Kwanzaa, and we encourage folk to celebrate Kwanzaa. So like again, it's not a black holiday. It's not a black religious thing. It's not It's just an event that we celebrate. It's not like Juneteenth or something like that. It's just what we try to strive for in our lives. Okay, so remember that. Okay, remember that. Every year we are going to be celebrating Kwanzaa. Okay, now having said all of that, we host a Kwanzaa event every year down at the Kukua Institute. Okay, down at the Kukua Institute, and this year we're going to celebrate Kwanzaa again this year. And I believe Kwanzaa this year we're going to celebrate it Sunday. Okay, celebrate it Sunday, and we're going to be honoring Napoleon Williams. Okay, you know Napoleon. He got a lot of great accolades to himself that been bestowed upon him for his activities, and he's a drum man. Y'all see Napoleon beating the drums and everything around town. So Kwanzaa 25 is going to be celebrated. Okay, going to be celebrated this Sunday, December 28th at 4 p.m. down at the Kukua Institute, which is located at 300 North Root Street. And it's a celebration on purpose. Okay, definitely we want you to go down and celebrate Kwanzaa. Okay, celebrate Kwanzaa with us. And if you got any questions, just give us a call, and we'll make sure that you can get in. Start at 4 o'clock and everything. All right, y'all. While I wait, I'm going to be talking to Chip Simmons in just a few minutes. But before I do that, I still want you to celebrate Black History. I want to go to instead of going to a break, I want to give you another Black History fact. And when we come back, hopefully we'll be talking to our illustrious sheriff, Mr. Sheriff Chip Simmons. So y'all stay tuned, and we'll be right back. And tell everybody that Vernon this morning is trying to carry on the legacy of Robert Hill and the Hill in the Morning Show to keep you informed on what's going on in your community. We'll be right back.
Discovery is at the heart of the study of African American history. Lewis Latimer's parents bravely escaped from slavery to freedom and settled in Chelsea, Massachusetts, where Lewis was born. He taught himself mechanical drawing while working in a patent office, and those skills would lay the foundation for his achievements as an inventor. Having first collaborated on a water closet for railroad cars, Latimer set to work inventing a light bulb that would dramatically improve upon Thomas Edison's original design.
Latimer figured out how to make the carbon filament work more effectively and therefore become more useful so that the light bulb would burn much longer.
He eventually sold one of his patents to the United States Electric Lighting Company. This breakthrough would lead to a productive, creative relationship between Latimer and Edison. Working with Edison in his lab, Latimer played a key role in the burgeoning electric lighting business. In the late 19th century, a woman named Sarah Boone played a pivotal role as an inventor who would transform the everyday task of ironing clothes. At that time, most people would iron fabric by placing a wooden plank between two surfaces. As a skilled dressmaker, Sarah Boone was determined to find a better way.
What Sarah Boone was able to figure out, in order to iron women's clothes in particular more effectively, a simple rectangular ironing board was not as useful as one that was curved and made narrow at one end.
Boone was granted a patent for her invention in 1892. She earned a place in Black history as the fourth African-American woman to be awarded a patent in the history of the United States. Against enormous odds, Lewis Latimer and Sarah Boone set the standard for future Black inventors. Today, many African Americans extend the tradition and innovation that they pioneered in science and technology.
All right, y'all. Black history. Yeah. Do you know the father of black history? If you don't know, let me tell you who the father of black history is. Okay, so you can have an idea on who started black history, and it was a guy by the name of Dr. Carter J. Woodson. Okay, Dr. Woodson, um, back in 1915, he saw the need of black folks knowing a little bit about their own history. You know, Dr. Carter J. Woodson was the second man to graduate from Harvard, second black man, let me put it that way, the second black man to graduate from Harvard University. And so throughout his learning, he said he found nothing about our own history. And so what he wanted to do, and he created a series of essays, and he wrote a book back in 1915 about the education of the Negro, and on and on and on, which led to him creating Negro History Week back in 1926. Okay, creating Black History Week in 1926. And so for many years, for many years, we have been celebrating Black History Week until the 1970s. Okay, and then in the 1970s, we decided to start celebrating Black History Month thanks to Gerald Ford. Okay, Gerald Ford, he created Black History Month. Okay, back then was called Negro History Week back in 1926 until 1974. So we went from Negroes to being black in the 1970s, and these college kids petitioned the White House, and President Ford signed a proclamation to create what we call Black History Month, and we've been celebrating Black History Month in February throughout the nation ever since. Okay, we're throughout the nation ever since. All right, y'all, it's about 8:30 time frame here, and we got online is our actually sheriff of Escambia County, Chip Simmons. Good morning, Chip. How you doing this morning? If you can hear me, let me see if I can get you on, Chip. Let me see if I can get you. I can see you, but I don't hear you. Chip, are you on? Let's see here. Let me see. Trying to get Chip Simmons on here. I can see him. Well, I did see him. He went away on me. He went away on me. Chip, there we are. I can see you again. Chip, let me see if I can bring you online. Good morning. How you doing this morning? Chip, are you able to hear me? Chip, are you able to hear me? I'm able to see him. I'm able to see Chip Simmons, but Chip is not hearing me. I'm not being able to hear him this morning. Let's see here. I can see him just as plain as day. Hang on, Chip. Chip, wave your hand if you can hear me. Chip, if he probably can't hear me, I can see him, but I cannot. He must not be able to see me. I'm gonna have to see if I can get him online here. Okay. I can see him, but I cannot. He's not coming on. He must not gave permission for his camera. But he just zoomed out and gonna zoom right back in just a few minutes, y'all. He's just trying to reconnect here. But anyway, Chip Simmons is our sheriff, and we got him on the. I see him on his iPhone, but I can't bring him in. Chip, are you there? Let me call him on the line there. Okay. Give me 1 minute, folks. We'll get him in here. We'll get him in here. Chip, are you there? Are you there, Chip? I can hear you. You can hear me? Okay, you can hear me, Chip? I can. Let me see if I can get him. I can get him on the phone. Maybe I can get him on the phone. For some reason, I can see him, but I cannot. He's not coming through on the audio part of it. For some reason, I can see him, but I can't hear him. Let's see if I can find Chip Simmons. No, okay. Let me get him. Let me get him on the phone. Let me get him on the phone. I said, don't call you. I can hear. Chip, are you? Hey, Chip.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Listen, I can see you, but I can't hear you over the
Okay, I
over the
tried
system.
to unmute and mute again. Let me hang up and try it again.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I can't hear you either.
You can't hear me? Yeah, I can
cannot,
see
no.
you on my thing, but I cannot hear you. Okay?
Okay.
Let me
All right,
see.
yeah, let me
It says
try
that.
to try
Well,
to
hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. It says now it just popped up in 10 minutes. Say give permission. Now maybe that would help. Did it give me permission? See. Are you able to see me now? Are you able to? All righty now. Flip it over now, Chip. Flip it over, and we ought to be good. There we are. Flip your camera sideways, if you will. Yeah, I'm seeing you now. I wasn't able to see you before, and are you able to hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. So I'm assuming if you can see me, we're good to go.
I can see you, but I'm not hearing you. Now you got to hang up. We got to hang up on the phone because you're on your phone, and iPhones don't like to do two things at one time. So you we'll hang up the phone, and then we'll get you over the system. Okay? You might have to call back to reconnect again. But anyway, y'all, this is our Sheriff Chip Simmons. Hopefully he's gonna recall back in. These iPhones or something else, y'all. Let me see if we can redo it again.
There we go.
There we go. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Good. We already have a little technical issues here, but we're fine. How was your holidays, Chip?
My holiday was good. Mine was good. I was able to spend some quality time with my family and my grandkids, and it's one of those things where I was talking to my chief of staff this morning, and it was like, I needed to get back to work. I needed to take me a breather and get away from that continuous holiday stuff and really get back to work and work for our community.
Chip, how long you probably off for a couple of days? You just one of those workaholics, huh?
Yeah, it's not like I was off that much. I was off 2 days, right? Christmas Eve and Christmas, and they were back to work today, and we are off on the weekend. But I looked at some of our reports, and we did have a crash with our one of our cruiser cars. Someone ran a red light and
Really?
crashed one of our cruiser cars, but it does not appear to be serious injuries. But that's the only thing really to note over the weekend, which I appreciate. If you recall, on Thanksgiving we had a shooting. Some people couldn't get along, and they brought guns into the equation and ended up shooting each other and seriously injuring each other. But I don't have any reports of that. In fact, I have another meeting at 9:00, and we'll go over the long weekend ahead, and then obviously the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, Christmas, people do some crazy things during Christmas. I gave a report this morning. I must have been down in Palm Beach, Florida, where an incident got out of control over the remote control over a football game. Who wanted to look at what? Killing him, his wife, and seriously shot his stepdaughter, and then committed suicide after that. So, wow.
All that over the remote.
All that over remote control. So who wanted to look at what? Right.
I'll be honest. You can go back years. Early in my career, I was a corrections officer, and and they assigned me up to what we call the 7th floor, which is where all the serious felons were. And I remember being in just disbelief that a couple of people there were one was fighting over a chicken sandwich, and even from my early years in law enforcement. You slowly turn your head in disbelief at what some of the people do that affects their entire life. And that's why we're so quick to talk to people about letting cooler heads prevail, leave the situation, count to 10, whatever works for you, so that you do not make a rash decision that's going to end up costing you your life.
Yeah, that's true, Chip. And one of the things too, we talked earlier about having a blue Christmas, and what we mean about that is the mental health issues that needs to be addressed during the holidays. And I think family members can see that. And just like the incident I referred to about the one in Palm Beach, they found a note that the woman had already had written to her husband about getting some help, and drinking always exacerbate issues, and he was drinking as well. And but if people need to take a note of that, mental health is something that is serious, and I don't think people take it as serious because you can't see it like you do physical health. If you were hurt or you had a disease, something like, people can see that, but sometimes this invisible illness is really dangerous, and so people need to be more aware of it.
Well, how do you differentiate, to your point, someone that's self-medicating versus someone that's just enjoying the holiday? And how do you know if they're just trying to cover something up? Because a lot of times all we see is what we allow people to see.
Right.
So we'll go to a party and we seem to be festive and we dress up in our holiday attire, whether it's Christmas or whether it's even New Year's. People they go out on New Year's Eve and they have a good time and they prepare for the new year. But are they hiding something? Is it something that they're that they're hiding in, and do they need something extra with regards to what they're going through? So again, we're just now touching the surface of the mental health thing with regards to law enforcement. We can't talk about law enforcement. We can't talk about homeless. We can't talk about drug addiction without not also discussing mental illness. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that a good thing is that we're looking into it where it's not something that was so silent years ago. We're able to talk about it. People are able to reach out, and whether it's family members, friends, maybe even the medical field that could potentially help them. I think it's something that's not going to go away, and hopefully we continue to build. We have a first responder unit that a coordinated effort between us and Lakeview Center clinicians, and so hopefully that's just the beginning of the services we can provide as a community.
Chip, two of the biggest problems I find that people kind of fail to talk about, and they should talk about, is mental health issues and domestic violence. Those are the two great issues that affecting all of our communities, but sometimes folks fail to talk about it or report it until it's too late. And so we encourage people to bring those issues to the forefront. And maybe it's embarrassing to them, but those are serious issues. And I know for law enforcement, when you have to make a domestic call, that's one of the dangerous calls you can make because you don't know what to expect.
It certainly can be. And we go to individuals' homes, and we end up being the peacemaker many times and the referee many times in family disputes. And that doesn't always go well. You watch a football game and you see a referee, half the people hate what they do, the other people love what they do. And I think that that's the situation we find ourselves in law enforcement, and that you cannot, you can't hope to remedy years and years of conflict in just about a matter of 20, 30 minutes. So what we have to do is, bring whatever resources are available and then leave them with some other resources. Hey, please contact someone, or please, consider this or consider that. Unfortunately, we end up going to one particular location, one particular family, one particular disturbance, time and time again. And whether we arrest an individual or not, even if we do arrest someone, that's not the end of that, right? Because they're probably ultimately going to get out, and there needs to be some long-lasting type resolution there.
Absolutely. Since it's the holidays, let's talk about the crimes of opportunity. I noticed that you're looking for a young lady that did a crime of opportunity. Somebody left a car unlocked at one of the convenience stores. Talk to us about the safety of locking your vehicle, even in your own driveway.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot throughout the year, but it's even more so during the holidays because I think you talked about it or you mentioned it, a crime of opportunity. People, even criminals, are opportunistic and they understand that, what someone may have, if they're at a grocery store parking lot, if they're at a convenience store parking lot, or if they're at a department store parking lot, that they may have, it may not be the first store they've gone to. They may have some packages left in their car. They may leave their purse in the car. They may be busy with the holiday shopping and such, and they may inadvertently leave something in their car, and that's what you've seen. The individual we're looking for took advantage of that. As someone was in a hurry, they stopped their car, they ran inside for I think less than a minute, and when they came out, they noticed that someone had taken I think a computer, a wallet, I think I'm gonna say $800. And so, we're serious about thieves. And what we did is we put their picture up, their identity up, because we want people to help us to put them in jail. Because if they're out of jail, even if they're wanted, doesn't mean they're not going to continue to victimize others in our community. And to your point, let's remind ourselves that to lock our doors, our car doors, lock our house doors, and to be aware that we might be vulnerable to some of these criminals in certain locations.
Yeah, my son caught on his security camera a guy lurking around his driveway 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and had he not had the camera to see what was going on with him, had he not locked his car, two things could have happened. Number one, people sometimes leave valuables in the car, and two, sometimes they leave keys in their car, and the crime opportunity include theft, car theft as well if they're not very careful.
Last week alone, we arrested 3 people. We're looking for one more, but we arrested 3 people, and they were breaking into cars and then ended up stealing a car from Santa Rosa County. And then the car crashed here, and we ended up chasing them, doing a good job, retrieving 3 guns as well, one of which was stolen that very morning. These people will steal whatever they can get their hands on. It used to be they'd check car doors and they'd take a pair of sunglasses, maybe some cash that was left in the center console. And nowadays they end up, if they see the keys around, they'll take the car itself. And it's been our experience that what they'll do is they'll keep these cars hidden somewhere, and then they'll take those cars weeks later and do a drive-by shooting. We recently, there was an individual that was convicted. I think he was sentenced to life in prison for a homicide that happened on Ayers Boulevard. That a couple of guys, we ended up chasing them and bumping them and stopping them and ultimately arresting them. So again, it could start as just a car theft or a vehicle burglary, but sometimes they steal the car and sometimes they do terrible things with that car.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some of the good things that are associated with law enforcement. We always talk about the crime and stuff like that, but I understand that you guys made a lot of children happy over the holidays, and I was reading a story, and I reported on this morning about the group of law enforcement and first responders got together and did a kind of Christmas light in the parking lot for the children at the children's hospitals and stuff like that. So let the folks know what their sheriff department, their sheriff office, was doing for the holidays for the kids.
Well, this is a different law enforcement than it was 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Better believe
we
that,
believe
Chip.
that you can have it all. We believe you can have enforcement. I talked about arresting people and putting the bad guys in jail, but we also believe very strongly in engagement. And part of that engagement is we have the opportunity through our school resource officers to be able to work with the school district to identify students that are good students, first of all. Secondly, they're kids that may not have the Christmas that we always dream about. So we're able to. We have some great sponsors, and the Skim County Sheriff Foundation is a wonderful partner with us. And then we were able to give, I think, 60 kids total a Christmas that they wouldn't otherwise have. Secondarily, what you're talking about is, nothing breaks your heart more than a sick child. Whether it's at your home and they've got a cold, or in this particular case, there are kids that are going through treatment at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. And every year we're able to get our cruiser cars out there, our trucks out there, get as many of our police vehicles as it's not needed out there in the street, obviously. And then on Christmas Eve, what they'll do is on at a certain time, everyone will turn the lights on, and they're obviously blue and red and white lights, not just police cars, but fire trucks and ambulance crews. I think that it's a great look. For the kids, you can see in the windows, the kids are opening up the windows and are taking a look out there, and everyone likes to see nice lights. And in that situation, these cars aren't going to a tragedy. These cars are just saying, "Hey, Merry Christmas. We know that you're in there in the hospital. We understand that you're going through a lot, and if our lights turning on our lights and basically saluting these children can give them a brief smile, put a little brief smile to their face, and a brief little Merry Christmas, maybe can strengthen them for an hour or a minute or even a day, then it's all worth it."
Absolutely. Not only you do that, but you actually your officers, what do you call it, shop for the kids, shop for the cops program. Talk about that.
Yeah, that's a Shop with a Cop program that our foundation has graciously decided, hey, we're going to help these kids, and what we do is we decorate our entire conference room downstairs, and we bring these children in, and we make it what we call winter wonderland, or certainly a Christmas wonderland. We have lights, and we have food for them, and we have a tree, and we have a number of things there that they might not ordinarily have. And so by the time they walk in, we open up the door, they announce their name, and then they have a deputies walking with them, and then we load them up with gifts. Again, that it gives us the opportunity to say Merry Christmas in a manner in which they may not be accustomed to. And the kids have the look on their face, but the deputies do as well. And I know that if you look at some of the pictures, we don't do it for the pictures, but I think it's important to thank our sponsors, because without the sponsors, we couldn't do what we do with regards to this, because we're not using general fund dollars for these Christmas gifts. We're using gifts, money that is donated to us for that specific purpose, because they understand that law enforcement officers have a unique perspective, a unique viewpoint on some of the needs in our community, and we have to work in the community. We know these kids from the schools that our resource officers are assigned to, so it's just one more piece of a great Christmas, one more piece of a great engagement opportunity that the Escambia County Sheriff's Office shares with the citizens of Escambia County.
Chip, when you were talking about the kids and school resource officers, I was reading recently about maybe a new type of office, maybe hired by the school board or maybe hired by the sheriff department. Are you familiar with that? They got they're going to probably help the school resource officers. They're creating a new service, if you will, by the school board. Are you familiar with that?
If you're talking about the Guardian program, I'm familiar with that. I don't know exactly what other program, but the Guardian program, it supplements security in our schools, so that every school in Escambia County, every public school, in elementary, middle, and high school, they all will have either a certified law enforcement officer that works for the sheriff's office or the Pensacola Police Department, or they would have a guardian. By state statute, the sheriff's office, we train these guardians, but they're employees of the Escambia County School District. So once we've trained them, then we basically turn them over to the school district for hire. And then it's one of those things where you have an individual there that can help and keep the school safe. So that, again, we don't talk as much about safety and what exactly our game plan is for the safety of our schools. But I will tell you that we're serious about protecting our children, and the school district is serious about protecting the children. And whether it is a resource officer or a guardian with this state certified program, we're doing all we can to make sure that they're safe.
I know you got to know the meeting in just a few minutes, but how does one get to be a part of the sheriff department, or sheriff office, if you will, if they looking for a career in law enforcement with the Escambia County Sheriff Department? I keep saying department chief. I mean, I know it's sheriff office. I know the difference, but forgive me when I get it all wrong. Okay.
Yeah. No, I've been with the Pensacola Police Department 30 years, and sometimes I'll still make that mistake. But we are always advertising, which means we're always hiring, right? We always have the needs of the sheriff's office. We have over 800 employees. And I think it's important to know we have over 400 and around 450, a little over 450 sworn deputies. But we have other positions. So if you're interested, you can go to our website. You can go to our Facebook page. You can find out how you can apply. You can apply for a sworn deputy position. You can apply for a cadet position. You can apply for a number of our non-sworn positions or our support staff positions, whether it is a dispatcher, whether it is a crime scene professional, whether it was a records professional. We have a civil process service. We have a number of positions. And I would say that if you're interested at all in becoming a part of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office and the great things that we have going at the Sheriff's Office, then you can, put your name in, and we'll notify you whenever we have the next interview process, or whenever we have our next patch test, which is a physical abilities test to become a sworn law enforcement officer. We love to recruit locally. We're very proud of the fact that we have family members here. We have generational talent that has chosen the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. And I think that that's very important to note that we not only work in our community, we have lived in this community. We've raised our families in our community, and we know our community. And we think, or we hope that our efforts in our community are going to continue to pay off for generations to come.
Good, very good, Chip. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time out. And I really want to appreciate you. Thank you for coming on every week, because I think it's important that the community stay engaged and hear it from the sheriff himself of what's going on.
No, I appreciate.
You don't see that.
The opportunity.
Do they do that around other parts of the country?
There are a couple of opportunities. I don't know of anyone that does this as frequent as we do.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sheriff. All right, y'all. Sheriff Chip Simmons, we'll see you next Friday at 8:30. All right.
You bet. Y'all take care.
All right, now. All right, y'all. Sheriff Chip Simmons, Escambia County Sheriff. I've always say Sheriff Department, but it's Sheriff Office. I don't know what the real difference between an office and a department, but it's the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, y'all. All right, y'all. Oh, man. Time flies when you're having fun, y'all. Time flies. You know, we only got about a couple more minutes into this show. I got to take one quick commercial break before I leave. And when I come back, we're going to wrap it all up, okay? Stay tuned, okay?
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Sonia Bay's Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Bay's Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
For a special occasion, look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menwear needs.
It is predicted the 11th. It's time for the annual Gospel Soul Bowl. Gospel Soul. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. Live at the Greater Tucson Baptist Church, 130 North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola, Florida, where Isaac Williams is pastor. The 11th year of the Gospel Soul Bowl. And it's going to be live. Performing live, it's Pastor James McGee of the Atmosphere. Dion Bell and the Brothers. It's the Pastor Singer. Memphis, Tennessee's on the Brown Tour. The Wings of Faith, Divine Harmony, Saturday, January 3rd. The tour's open at 3:30 p.m. The concert starts at 4:30 p.m. Greater True Vine Baptist Church in Pensacola. The scripture will be given to you by Minister Hubert Kim. A prayer brought to you by Minister Michael D. Get ready for a solo by Michael Jackson. Your MC, Eddie Snell, sir. Hosted by the Spiritual Persuaders. Get those tickets now. Advance ticket donation $30, $35 the day of the show. Get them at Goodfellas Barbershop, the original King's Barbershop, Reason Go Food Vendor. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. The Gospel Soul Bowl. For more information, contact Eddie Snell at 850-525-7188.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I still have a dream.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, live on Blab TV, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
You don't want to miss the citywide celebration, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola, live on Blab TV.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
All right, y'all, welcome back. I got to get out of here. Y'all, thank you for listening. I hope everybody had a beautiful holiday for Christmas, and we're going to continue this Christmas weekend, and we're going to start all over again next Wednesday evening for New Year's Eve, and we're going to New Year's Day, and so forth. So don't forget, January was a busy month for us. February was a busy month for us, and so make sure you participate in all the activities. I just want to remind you, today is the beginning of Kwanzaa. Today is the beginning of Kwanzaa, so celebrate the 7th principle of Kwanzaa between now and January the 1st. And on Sunday, don't forget to meet us down at the Kukua Institute, y'all. Don't forget to meet us down at the Kukua Institute, okay? The Kukua Institute for our 2025 Kwanzaa celebration, okay? All right, y'all, I got to get out of here. I'll see you on Monday. We'll be here Monday and Tuesday, but we'll probably off Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be back next Friday, and then we're into a brand new year. All right, remember, I love you, and you can't do nothing about it. All right, y'all, you got Vernon this morning. You tell everybody about the show, and tell everybody about, we're trying to spread the word. We're trying to get as much information out as we can, and we want to continue the legacy of Heal in the Morning. All right, with the new Vernon in the Morning show, okay, with the new Vernon in the Morning show. I love you. We'll see you next week, okay? We'll see you next week. That's Miss Sharon Potter calling me, and we'll talk to you later.